Hi, today I'm going to get you started on a tour of a very exciting field of study known as second language acquisition. In this video, we talk about the science behind second language learning. We will cover what we know about how people learn languages and what we don't know. If you are watching this video, you probably want to learn more about how people learn languages. Language are incredibly complex. Just think about that for a minute. What are you learning when you learn a new language? Thousands of words, rule of how you put those words together, an entirely new sound system, idioms rule for when it's appropriate to say what cultural cultural competence. It's a lot, and we know that people all over the world learn languages in many different contexts for many different reasons and with a fairly wide range of success. We probably all have that one friend who seems to pick up languages effortlessly, while we may struggle to get past basic vocabulary and greetings. To understand more about how people learn languages, we can turn to second language acquisition. So that brings us to our first question. What is second language acquisition? Let's start with a short answer. Maybe you are a language teacher looking for ways to better understand why your students are struggling. Or maybe you are a learner who wants to know how your brain can manage multiple languages. Or maybe you are simply just someone who cannot get enough of languages and linguistics. I get it. I am or have at one point been all of those things. Linguistics is scientific study of language, second language acquisition or SLA. If you want to sound like you are in the know, it is subfield of linguistics that focus on the learning and teaching of second language. Now, that second language part can be a little misleading because actually SLA study of any language that learn after your first language. So that could be your second language, but it could be your third, fourth, fifth, 15th, and so on. A first language, on the other hand, is learned in the first few years of life. First language learning doesn't fall under the umbrella of SLA. First language acquisition, also called child language acquisition, is a distinct field of study. Serious effort to study second language to learn emerged in the mid 1900s when researchers were starting to look at how instinct from psychology, theoretical linguistics, and first language acquisition could inform our understanding of how adults learn additional languages and how this could apply to languages teaching. By the 1980s, SLA was really being established as a field in its own right. This is when early and influential theory about second language learning start to take hold. This theory considered how second language development was affected by things like initiate grammatical knowledge, interaction with other speakers, and social factors. They paved the way for an explosion of research that has flourished of this day, uh, intersecting with a wide range of scientific fields, including anthropology, sociology, cognitive science, neuroscience, and education. Today, there are many academic journals that specifically focus on SLA, and millions of books and academic articles on this subject. In fact, a Google Scholar search for academic publication on second language acquisition returned nearly 4 million hits. SLA even has its own subfield. Generally, these are divided into two main strands and apply strands that focus on how to make language learning and teaching more effective, and uh, pure research strand that focus on understanding the human ability to learn languages. At the beginning of this video, I told you that we cover what second language acquisition and why it matters. Now that we have defined SLA, the field of study concerned with the learning and teaching of second language and subsequent languages. It's time to explore that second part. Why it matters? Well, it turned out that understanding second language learning has a whole bunch of real-world applications for today. Let's focus on five main examples. The first one may sound obvious, but SLA is important for education, teaching program, textbook, curriculum design, and even the activities in your language classroom are often informed by SLA research. Beyond the classroom, people learn languages at all ages in a variety of contexts for a number of different reasons, and they all come up with different strength and weakness. SLA research seeks to understand how all of those different factors and more influence language learning. Number two, SLA is important for public policy. In many countries, immigrants make up a large number of second language. SLA research can inform policies about how and when to educate these newcomers in their local language while maintaining their home language. Number three, SLA is important for national security and diplomacy. The Department of Defense is actually one of the biggest funders of SLA research. They need identity-talented language learners who can quickly learn to communicate with the diplomats and local all over the world, and they probably train space. Number four, SLA is important of the economy. More and more jobs are requiring proficiency in other language, and learning a second language can make you a more competitive candidate. And that brings us to number five. There are so many real-world applications of SLA, more than we can touch of in this video. But perhaps the most important application of SLA, it is a role in cross-cultural understanding. SLA research shows us the learning new languages make us more open to the other cultures and broadens our worldwide. I think that's all for me. In this video, we answer two big questions. What is SLA and why does it matter? We learn that second language acquisition or SLA is a subfield of linguistics that focus on the learning and teaching of second language or languages learned after your first language beyond the first few years of life, and it is relevant to many areas of our everyday life. Thank you.